I'll just try not to analyze myself too much and just try and get through to the other side.
That's right. Don't analyze it. Just see it.
And I find as well, like, not having too many like deep conversations. Like, I'll say to Anthony, like, let's put a pin in that and come back in like a few days or whatever, because I feel like I don't want to analyze anything. I don't want to have a deep conversation about anything that's important, because I feel like I'm not in the space to communicate properly or deal with it until I get through the pain. And I'm just like, don't judge me.
That's right. No, if you're like going through it and your husband want to have a deep conversation about it, no, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
No, I want to quietly go through this.
Yeah.
Really. And it's going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
It really will. Even if you guys don't talk deep for a week, you may want to be quiet just for a week to just quietly watch it and go through it, go to work. Because if you're always talking about it with someone, you get a false sense of validation about it. And that'll make you relax too, but that's not what you want. You want to overcome it without any outside help, period.
Yeah, I find that trying to just communicate that and just kind of say, I need to be by myself a little bit more this week and kind of stay out of the way, because it's very painful going through these topics that you're trying to deal with, and a lot of them are very like sensitive and like close to home, so it's like you want to deal with it in the best way without affecting everybody else in the house.
That's right.
So I just find like, hey everybody, give me a few days, give me a week, I'll be back. Don't ask me if it's not important. Really, don't talk to me is what I find, because I don't want to affect everybody else around me. You know what I mean?
No, that makes sense.
Because some of these things are like really difficult, and I'm like, oh, like I'd rather not deal with it. But at the same time, you just, like you said, you got to push forward. And just hope that not too many more things are going to come up. But then again, I try not to think about it like that either, because if it comes up, I'm just becoming more free as I go through each topic of whatever it is.
Do y'all understand that? Stop running from yourself. All you're doing is running with you. And if you are married and have a family, you don't want to be talking about this all the time with your family. You want to mope through the house, get the work done, the physical work done, but just quietly go through the pain, because you do not want anyone to help you soothe the pain at all. In order to get to heaven, you got to go through this hell. And it ain't pretty. I'm telling you right now, when you really get serious about it. And it's only so painful because you think it's you. If you knew it was not you, it'll be just like that. It'll be over. It will be gone. But you think it's you because it's in the body. And all these voices in your head. So it is in there somewhere, but it's not you. And it doesn't want you to know that. But you will. You're climbing over the wall. And all these little demons try to push you back down on the ground. Like what Sean was talking earlier. One person was unchanged, and they went away. When they come back, they were attacked. They didn't believe it. But you do not want anybody to help you. I noticed that when I was really going through it, I used to attempt to talk to somebody about what I was seeing. And their response let me know they didn't see it. Just one little light, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I just stay quiet. But they're not going to understand. They're not going to understand what you're going through. Unless they're going through it too. They're serious about overcoming hell. Yes?
I think that, lastly, I think sometimes I think that I'm fortunate in the sense that I have a husband that's also awake and understands everything that I'm dealing with, in the sense, although we're dealing with different topics, but sometimes it'd be winding me up, because I'm like, he can see things sometimes that I can't see, and he'll be like, do you realize, or do you see? And I'm just like, oh, like, I don't want another thing. Like, just be quiet. Like, shh, can we go a week or 2 weeks without having to do, like, can I just live? Like, but then I'm also grateful on the other sense that he can see things that I can't see, because then I'm able to deal with it. And we've got to the place now where like we can disagree and have like hard conversations and be totally fine. Then it'll be like, oh, you want to go get a coffee, or you want to go out for a movie? And I'll be like, what? Like, we just disagreed about that 5 minutes ago. Whereas like before, you know, a year ago, that would have been an issue for a week, if not a month. So
you're absolutely right about that.
So I'm grateful that I get shown things.
But you want to make sure that your husband doesn't overdo that, you know, when you're going through something.
But he
And,
leaves me be. I just got to deal with it.
And he's like, can't you see this and can't you see that? You don't, make sure that you don't overdo that. Because the devil used that and said, look at him, he think he got it. He's always correcting you. You know how people think they have it and they always try to correct somebody? A person that haven't it, don't try to correct others. Really, because you're not trying to prove anything. That's what Bible thumpers do.
Yeah.
So it's okay if he pointed out sometime.
Yeah, he'll point it out
but-
sometimes,
but
and then
not
I'll sit
a lot
with
of
it.
time.
Yeah, I'll sit with it and try and see it for myself and see if that's whether I agree with it in the first place,
Right.
and then I'll work through that. So.
Yeah, because the devil said, look at him. And you'll get mad at him. Because the devil, you'll look at him and look like he just knows it all. And the devil like, look at him, he think he knows it all. He think he's smart, he knows God. And you'll get ticked off at him.
Yeah, but I know now that that's the not me, and I know that
Good.
that's the devil, and I
Yeah.
see that for what that is, and I want to see past that and say, is there any truth? And this doesn't happen often, but here and there, it makes me think, is there any truth to what he's saying? Because
That's right.
he really loves me, and he wants me to be whole and right. So
Yeah.
let me at least look at it and analyze it for myself, and then, consider it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. It ain't gonna be pretty, especially when you get like really down in hell and you start to really go through it and it start to disappear. It look like nothing is left. Like, where's my life? I don't have a life now. It's only because you have nothing to identify with. And a lot of people get afraid at that point. It's like, when this thing dies, it's like nothing is left, no idea. You feel like you're losing your life. And you are. You're losing hell. But you're gaining your life. But you don't want anything to identify. So don't run back into darkness. Because it's going to get fun after a while. This is going to be so much fun. You're going to be like halfway crazy and halfway insane. It's going to be crazy. You're going to be halfway crazy and halfway sane. And the reason for that, because you have allowed sanity to come in, which is the Spirit of God. You have welcomed that in, and so it's killing the darkness. It's destroying the insane world, and because you have welcomed the truth. You welcome it. You okay, I love it, let it happen. And so you're going to start being half crazy and half sane. But you got the same world, which is of God, to fight away all of the craziness. That will happen. It's going to blow your mind that you live in these two lives like that. He will. Let him in.